So as you can understand, I got a food poisoning. It all started on Tuesday evening as I felt a sudden pain in my stomach. During the night, I woke up 5 times to run to the bathroom just in hopes not to poop my pants. The next day, on Wednesday, I was working in the office and everything was fine until 6 p.m. The moment 6 p.m. hit, I felt sudden pain. I ran to the bathroom, which is luckily like a 5-second walk from my desk. The moment I opened the door, I just threw up all over. I just threw up everything that I ate the whole day. The stomach pain was so intense. My abdominal muscles were so sore from just throwing up that for the rest of the day, I was walking like this all the time. Like I just couldn't stand straight because of how much pain I had in my abdominal muscle. I was stuck there for 1.5 hours. Can you imagine that? I was stuck there for 1.5 hours. So I come back to my desk at 7:30 p.m. My coworker asked me, where the hell have I been for that long? And he couldn't believe that I was throwing up in the bathroom. It was very bad. Then the next few days, Thursday and Friday, I was feeling slightly a bit better, but I was still working from home and throwing up during the night. So nothing really much to be excited about. Then on Saturday, I felt slightly better and I was happy about my recovery. And that was where I've done actually the fatal mistake, because I had a protein shake and I had a fatty meat, beef, 2 hours in between. And that was the fatal mistake because I've introduced the trigger foods way too early. Guess what happened? Same night, waking up 5 times during the night, running to the bathroom, throwing up, pooping all over the place. It was very, very, very bad. So on Sunday I had absolutely no energy. I was eating just white rice, bananas, rice cakes, plain crackers, as little protein as possible because I was just too afraid to have any negative reaction again. Honestly, I've done absolutely nothing. Was just laying in bed the whole day, doing absolutely nothing. I felt absolutely terrible. So I stepped on a scale and I saw that I lost around 6 kilograms in less than 1 week. So it was very terrible for me. And I knew that I have to come up with a plan, with a protocol to get back to my original weight and restore my digestion as fast as possible, but at the same time not to put on like unnecessary water weight, unnecessary fat. So of course I had to eat clean, I had to eat unprocessed food and don't eat in too high of the surplus, even though I lost like 6 kilograms in less than a week. So this is a starting physique here, looking flat, tired and weak, nothing really to be excited about. Starting weight at 85.4. My diet was mainly white rice, bananas, boiled eggs and plain crackers. So these are basically all of the supplements I'm taking to recover from food poisoning, starting with the most important one, electrolyte mix. The cheapest one you can get from a pharmacy will always work the best. Very important for it to be unflavored. So one packet has 600 milligrams of natrium, 300 milligrams of potassium. So it's actually for hydration. When you are getting salt, it actually holds more water in your body. Now, a few people would be afraid to get bloated and shit, but when you're losing a lot of water because of food poisoning specifically, you need to hold more water in you because you just lost a lot. Tastes absolutely terrible. That's how you know that it's good for you, because it doesn't have any flavor. Then this electrolyte powder mix, it's not really an electrolyte powder because it has only potassium. That's basically all it has. It has only potassium. But it tastes quite nice, so I'm adding a little bit of this with this electrolyte mix just for it to have a better taste, to be more enjoyable. And I have L-glutamine, 5 grams daily. Tastes absolutely disgusting. As you see, it's unflavored one. But ChatGPT told me that it's good to restore your, what's the word? Restore your gut lining, something like this. Been using for a week. Not sure if it works, but I already have it. Wouldn't buy it ever again. Trace mineral drops. Crazy expensive. If you are already taking your electrolytes, I would never buy this again. I bought it and I regret that because it mainly just adds minerals, and all it does adds, like, what does it even adds? I'm not sure. Magnesium, chloride, and sodium, but it's only 5 milligrams of sodium. Very overpriced. Would never buy this again, but I already have it, so not gonna throw this away. Also tastes quite horrible. It just tastes like salt. 5 grams of creatine daily, actually going more towards 10 grams daily. Glycine, I was taking glycine also before the food poisoning for sleep, but turns out it's also very good for your digestion. Digestive enzymes, absolute game changer, to be honest. Take 3 pills after the meal once a day, you're good to go. Like, this probably improved my food poisoning recovery the best. You specifically need to look for digestive enzymes which have the most, let's say, like, ingredients, because there are different enzymes to digest your carbs, proteins, fats, dairy, etc. So you need to look for the ones that have the highest variety, not the ones that process only protein or only carbs. Need the full complex. Probiotics, absolutely essential. And peppermint oil capsules. This was also a game changer for me. You take this, it's from irritable bowel syndrome. Yes, you take this after your meal and you feel much less bloated after each meal, and it's much more easy for you to digest everything. Absolutely amazing. So that's really, maybe that's a little too much. I would say no need for this, no need for this. Fuck that shit, that's very expensive. That's really all you don't even really need this, because that's mainly for flavor and for adding more potassium. But you mainly need electrolyte mix with sodium, digestive enzymes, probiotics, and obviously creatine. That's mainly all you need. Tuesday, weight at 85.8. No changes to the protocol, added few more boiled eggs just to keep the protein higher. I was still feeling way too dizzy and too weak to go to the gym. Wednesday, for some reason my weight got back to 85.7, but no changes to the protocol. Day 6, weight got back to 88 kilograms. Breakfast same as always, eggs, rice, chicken, edamame beans for more protein. I also hit the upper body workout from my new plan that I called the Narcissist Plus. It's called that way because you hit your upper body every second day. So, and you mainly focus on the aesthetic muscle groups like upper chest, shoulders, lats. But it has plus at the end because you still get to train legs, right? So you have upper body where you train like push and pull muscles, and you have lower body where I have 2 exercises for legs and then 3 exercises for arms, and then maybe abs if I feel so. So it's much more nicer. After that, I had mango yogurt with protein powder. Then for dinner I had protein granola with peanut butter and cottage cheese. Day 7, I was out from home, so don't know what was my weight, but that's the morning physique update. Already looking and feeling better. Still not back to the original point though. I did some grilling, which I haven't done in a long time, so was very happy about that. Burned half of the chicken, but that's what it is. So I had brown rice, plain wheat tortilla, and some burnt chicken thighs. After that, also I had the rice cakes with peanut butter and bananas. For dinner, light and simple, just light cottage cheese and banana. No gym that day, had the day off, so just wanted to walk on a forest a little bit and get some active recovery. It just feels so nice to be able to just simply go on a walk in nature when the weather is great and you don't have to worry
that you have to reply to your boss in Teams in like 1 minute or you're gonna get spanked. Life is great. Life is great on your rest day.
Day 8, my morning weight was at 88.4, and here I actually decided to add 100 more calories to my diet, or 25 grams of carbs. Had an upper body workout from my new workout plan. Honestly, felt absolutely amazing. Was able to hit new PRs. I'm really loving the idea of decreasing the amount of sets, but increasing the amount of exercises. And like scientifically, if you're a science-based lifter, scientifically it's much better, because like after second set of the same exercise, you have insanely diminishing marginal returns, like insanely diminishing benefits. So it's much better to change the exercise. But even if you don't care for the science, it's much more fun that way, right? It's much more fun, and I feel like I'm able to recover faster. But the most important part is just it's much more fun. That's the main thing. Also, during that workout, after the first exercise, I actually broke my tripod. So you will see that every subsequent shot will be from a very low angle. I'm in the editing process now, and I found an interesting scene, like where I'm grabbing the dumbbells, and look at this girl, like staring at my ass. Like, it looks so funny to me. The crazy thing is, when I lowered my amount of sets, I'm actually hitting new PRs. Like, I was supposed to do 8 reps, and I did the record and done 10. So that's pretty amazing.
No, this is already the part where most people would just give up, but that's also the part where like 90% of all of the muscle is built. The form was terrible, I could have got injured, but I was fine at the end. Look at this guy looking at me like, what the fuck.
Also added an intra-workout snack, that's organic honey, just in the middle of the workout. Actually feels much nicer to do that, so I would recommend to try that for everyone. Now, just because I lost so much weight so quickly, and I have to get that weight back anyways, it doesn't mean that now I can eat whatever I want. Just eat all of the processed food, eat junk food, and just try to, dirty bulk and eat whatever I want. No, I still need to eat clean. I make sure that I increase as much muscle as possible and not just water weight, excess glycogen and fat, right? And also, if you eat clean, then your workouts will be much better, because you will be able to push with higher intensity. So whatever your situation is, no matter how much and how fast you have lost weight due to sickness or injury or whatever, don't eat processed food. Don't eat any junk food. Day 9, here I finally had a lower body workout. I haven't filmed any of this, but you will just have to trust me that I've done 2 exercises for legs and then 3 exercises for arms. And it's much nicer that way, because previously I had a dedicated day for training legs on Saturday, and I was never looking forward to that day. If I would have to train legs on a weekday after the office work, I would just rather hang myself. Honestly, I would just rather hang myself, because how terrifying, how disgusting, and how mentally exhausting it is to work 12 hours in a stinky fucking office and then go to the gym and hit legs. I would just throw up all over the floor and would just start crying like a little baby. I'm not exaggerating. Trust me, I'm not exaggerating. That's how bad it is. Really, very bad. And I would then, for that reason, train legs on Saturday or Sunday, and that would just fuck up my whole weekend. That would absolutely fuck up my whole weekend on recovery. I would hit legs at 1 p.m., get home at 3 p.m. and just lay down on that bed for 1 hour, just regretting all of my life choices. Now, I do only 2 exercises for legs, and then I do arms. It's so fun. It's so much more fun, you know. It's not like I'm saying, oh, I have to train legs again. No, previously it was that way. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be so exhausted from training legs. Now, bam bam, so easy. Only 2 exercises, only 6 sets, very easy. So if you have any kind of similar experience with legs, I would recommend you trying this out. Day 10, final day of the protocol, my weight got back to 89.2. So no, it's not the final 90 kg that I had before the food poisoning, but I feel much better. I look the best I ever had. I was able to even hit new PRs, and I just like the way I look. I just like the way I feel. So in my opinion, that's an absolute success, and it took me around 10 days to achieve that recovery. So if you are going through the same struggle, or just plan it for the future, right? If you're gonna have any like extensive vacation, if you have any sickness, if you have any injury, just really need to have a protocol, a plan, how you going to recover as soon as possible, and you adjust that plan going forward. Like I've added 100 more calories, I completely changed my workout plan, and at the last day of the protocol, I've actually completely changed my diet, right? So I've started doing something called elimination diet. So it's when you eliminate like 99% of the food and you eat only the things that are the easiest to digest for you, that are the easiest to process, have absolutely no preservatives, absolutely no artificial sweeteners. It's actually a very interesting topic. I will make a separate video on this because I will try it for 2 weeks. I've tried it now only for 1 day. So everything that I eat is just eggs, turkey, chicken breast, chicken thighs, steak, lean beef, white rice, potatoes, bananas, what else? Bananas, honey, rice cakes, and blueberries. That's mainly it. Like none of the stuff, none of dairy, none of the stuff like protein powders, none of the stuff like pre-workouts, even I've cut out on my daily vitamins and minerals. So it's very, very interesting topic. I will update that in the future. But when it comes to the recovery from food poisoning, dude, I was able to go like from looking like this to now looking like that. I look the best I ever had. I would just really, if there could be only one advice, to get out from this, is just to be patient. It doesn't matter how fast, how much weight do you lose. Don't start shoving in your mouth excess amount of calories, because that will just go through your water weight and through your fat. That's not what you want. You want just as much of that to go to your muscle, to replenish your glycogen stores and just feel better, and to recover your digestive system. That's really all you want to do.
Bana bir şey olmaz, sen yanarsın. Atladım arabaya, yandı cadde. Yaptım kütle fitness aynı saatte. Mervelerde değil, ekmeğimdeyim. Bir sene sustum, fame aynı yerde. Sen nerede, ben neredeyim? Konum at konum, her yerdeyim. Yorum at, mesaj at, dillerdeyim. Bildiğim bileli gündemdeyim.